Good afternoon, Ms. Sonal Agarwal.
Good
I'm ve-
afternoon, sir.
I'm very happy that you took time out to join our conversation. As I
Uh,
as I mentioned, in this conversation, we'll have the discussion on the insurance for the business for the people at the bottom of the pyramid. But before we get into the details, I request you to introduce yourself for our audience. So,
sure. Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. Uh, Hi, everyone. I'm Sonal Agarwal. My organization name is SurakshitU Solutions. We are primarily working with people from low income segment to provide them with various kind of financial products around investment, savings, pension, insurance, and as well as facilitate them with credit options. And currently, we are primarily working with people in the unorganized workforce, people like artisans, weavers, farmers, who are mainly in the self-employed nature.
okay. Okay, that's interesting, Sonal. Before we get into their products and insurance in general, I know that you did a business school 2-year MBA in rural management. So, what has actually motivated you to get into this difficult development sector? In brief, can you share with us your journey of shifting from the corporate to the development sector?
So after like rural management, the first job that I got placement was into the consulting sector, and the consulting organization was primarily the experience was around in the financial inclusion. So when I was working from the as a researcher or consultant point of view, we used to work with bottom of the pyramid, but more from understanding what are their pain points, why people are not accessing the financial products, and what is the challenges they face when they don't have financial products. So that kind of interested me to see whether if I can play a more active role in solving some of those challenges. And one of the gaps that I saw that is more around the investment and the insurance side, which I feel is the strong need to have a good financial management for any household, because in the absence of these, people get into the continuous debt cycle. So that kind of motivated me to get into the space of providing financial products, and
Okay.
as well as providing the financial education, because one of the key challenges that people not using was the lack of financial education.
Okay, okay. That's interesting shift you took. And since our conversation will touch on different aspects of financial literacy with a focus on insurance, before we get into specifics of insurance, out of your experience, can you take us through the insurance ecosystem in India? Because people know lots of things about mutual funds,
Mhm.
banking. So, can you take us through the insurance ecosystem of India?
So, right now, I would say the insurance, health and life insurance in India is quite under-penetrated. Majority of the insurance in the health and life space that we see is either government funded or it's a employer driven, like where people are insured by their employers. But when we come to the self purchase of insurance for health and life, it the number for the entire country is just single digit. And
Sure.
one of the and there is a gap both in the supply and the demand side. In the demand side, people struggle to access the good quality products, and plus they also lack awareness about the importance of these products in their life.
Oh,
uh, and right now what happens in India is that endowment products, which is the where like okay, you save, you have both investment plus the risk component. That is the most preferred component, because as a country, India is a very Indian consumers are value driven. They want value out of their money. So
mhm.
these indemnity products around health and life are the least preferred by the consumers. And on the supply side, there is a lack of data for the insurance companies, and plus they also struggle with huge frauds around the insurance claims. That also make them also disinterested to provide suitable products to the segment. However, after COVID in this last 2 years, things are improving. There has been an increase in the awareness and the demand for health insurance and life insurance, especially after the experience of COVID.
Okay.
And also COVID has brought huge acceptance of digital insurance models.
Okay.
Now consumers are much more comfortable buying insurance online. It has solved the problem for insurance manufacturer, distributor, and consumers. Like the entire insurance cycle has become more seamless with digital adoption, with increase in mobile penetration, UPI, these things. So I see that the Indian ecosystem will be soon improving, and I see that there will be increase in penetration, and government has taken this as a mission to have insurance for all by 2047. So for this they are taking a lot of steps.
Okay, okay. But that's quite positive. Of course, you gave a positive message about the industry. But still, I have been told, I know, or I've been also reading that still India is not well insured. Is India adequately insured? For example, if you compare with UK or USA or China, do you see, how do you compare Indian insurance sector vis-a-vis other? Not exactly numbers per se.
Mhm.
What percentage of our population is insured? Do
So
you have any idea, something like that?
as I say, which I said in my opening statement also, the currently India is highly inadequately insured. And
Okay.
one of the major reasons is there is lack of demand for indemnity products,
Mm-hmm.
and people buy more of repeated buying of endowment products, which
Okay.
neither gives them a full, the adequate amount of protection when it comes to the life,
Mm-hmm.
or they don't have the health coverage. If they are being covered by the government or the employer, fine. But if we ask them to take their personal insurance, there's always a resistance.
Okay.
Because in India, there's also a concept like we have this huge faith in God,
Mm-hmm.
कि भगवान देख लेगा, or when we will be something will happen, that time we will take the insurance.
Acha, okay.
That's where the consumers struggle, because once you are unhealthy,
Hmm.
insurance company will neither give you life insurance, will neither give you health insurance.
Hmm.
And this basic understanding, we as consumers in India, we lack. And that's where a huge effort needs to go in the financial education of the people, ki why they need to take health and life insurance at the very beginning of their careers. Like if anyone is getting their first job, that is the time they should get themselves insured, in
Okay.
their early 20s, when they don't have any diseases.
Okay.
But what we see as a trend, that when people become 40, 45, that is when they start inquiring about the health insurance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you feel that one of the reasons for low penetration of insurance is also the lack of financial literacy. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. And so that brings us to a very fundamental question, not necessary for the poor people alone. That do you see that people are still getting confused between investment and insurance? People take insurance as an investment. Is it
Yes,
that your feeling also?
yes, that is my feeling, and that is where I feel is the major roadblock or the barrier in their heads.
Okay.
Because when I approach even the most educated people in the country,
Hmm.
without naming anyone, people from the educated MBA colleges, when I
Okay.
ask them, okay, this is a health insurance, the first question that I get from them, okay, what is the return on that?
Okay.
So, so this is the kind of questions people ask, and this is coming from the top B school MBA graduates as well.
Okay.
Even the educated chartered accountants ask us these questions. What is the return on health insurance?
Investment.
And second question, okay, if we don't fall sick, will I get the premium back?
Hmm. Okay.
And somewhere this, they see insurance as investment and they are not ready to see it more as a risk mitigation.
Okay. That's so therefore lots of work is there for you to do. That brings us to the next conjecture. No, this is my personal conjecture. The way I see people of our category, middle and upper income level people. And if I compare that with the poor people, I feel, so correct me if I'm wrong, and I would also like to get your view. They say that people, the rich people,
Hmm.
are overinsured. I mean, they have multiple insurance policies,
Mhm.
whereas the poor people in India are
Mhm.
underinsured. So even if the average insurance rate penetration is acceptable, but
Mhm.
actually, if you break it into rich and the poor, rich is overinsured and poor is underinsured. Is it? Am I making sense there? Is it really the thing in the field?
You are partially right. So the answer to your question is both yes and no. So
Okay.
what happens in case of rich is they are overinsured in the way that they have bought the same type of policies multiple times. But if we talk about whether they have the adequate coverage for all the risk that is there for their health, life, livelihood,
Hmm.
whether they have done it or not, many times it is lacking. So
Okay.
if I will give you example from my own set of family members, they
Hmm.
are, if I will put them into a higher middle class and business class family. So
Hmm.
now they have bought multiple endowment plans. So if we go by that definition, they have over purchased or over insured when it comes to that.
Hmm.
But at the same time, if I ask them whether they have enough health insurance or they have insured their shops or business premises, that might not be there for everyone.
Okay.
So because what is again missing is the when people are buying insurance, they don't see what all risks are there in their life and
Hmm.
what they need to cover.
Okay.
It's just that one of the known agents approach them, say, okay, this is a good money buyback policy. You buy this, that you will save 80 tax on the 80C, this section and all. They just buy it
Hmm.
without taking into account what all risk they are covering.
Okay.
So that
So,
is the case for the rich. And when it comes to poor, so in case of poor, they face both challenges. First, the product is not available. And if the product is available, they face difficulty in understanding the product and making use of it.
hmm.
And plus, their demand for the product is low ticket size. So generally, the supply side, the insurance companies, for
Hmm.
them, they don't become a preferable segment
Okay.
commercially because their average ticket size, say, for a health insurance would be sum assured of 1 lakh, 2 lakhs,
Hmm.
whereas a rich might take up for 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs.
Hmm.
So that's the thing.
Okay. So therefore you're saying that even if rich is overinsured, but still the a portfolio can be balanced and more products can be created for the poor. That brings us to our main theme of this conversation is the insurance for the people at the bottom of the pyramid. As you are aware, of course, of late, Government of India has launched exclusive insurance programs, schemes for the benefit of people at the bottom of the pyramid. For example, there are several schemes. We will not like to get into every policy, every scheme. Can you throw some light on the one of the premier program schemes like PMJ? What is that? What is there for a poor person in that PMJ? Yeah?
So, sir, PMJ is one of the largest well-funded health insurance scheme in the world.
Okay.
So India is one of the countries which has done it at this level of scale. and it's a kind of a universal health insurance where government has covered people based on their socio-economic status. They
Hmm.
have already selected the people who should get the health insurance coverage.
Hmm.
So people don't have to actually enroll for the scheme. They have already selected the beneficiaries. Now, what people needs to do is they have to go to their nearest customer service center, see whether their name is there in the list. If it is there, then each family of the beneficiary is eligible for 5 lakh rupees of health insurance for a year for the family.
Okay.
And they can go to any Ayushman Bharat or PMJAY empaneled hospital and avail the cashless treatment. And the good part of this health insurance scheme is that it covers majority of the diseases, and it may and majorly cover your pre-existing diseases.
Okay.
So which is one of the best part of this scheme, because generally we take any health insurance, there
Hmm.
is usually a waiting period or the pre-existing diseases are not covered.
Okay.
And in this, there is no waiting period and the pre-existing diseases are covered. So it's a huge relief for the BOP segment who are able to avail this scheme.
Okay. If you allow me a question for my clarity, you said that here the beneficiary is not required to go and register for the program, but they are already selected. How does that happen?
So, sir, government, based on the 2011 economic survey that they have done,
Hmm.
they have already identified the segment of the society based on their social and economic status, which they feel that they should get the benefit. So in this major BOPs, occupation wise, if we say the category, people like street vendors, maids,
Okay.
and your artisans, weavers, they are covered. And and what they have to do is when they are going, they have to get these Ayushman card made. So for
Uh-huh.
getting the card made, they go to either any government hospital where there is a Ayushman Bharat deaths is there, or they can go to a nearest customer service center where
Hmm.
they can give their ration card number or Aadhaar card details. If their name is there in the list, they can get the card made.
Okay. So all members of a family are covered, or only the mother, father, the parents
All
are
members
also?
of the family. Here,
Uh-huh.
the definition of the family is because they are majorly considering people with the ration cards.
Hmm.
So those people whose name are in that ration card
Hmm.
are generally considered as one unit of the family.
Okay.
So there is no upper limit on the family definition. Say a ration card has 5 members,
Hmm.
then the limit is distributed between that 5 members. If the ration card has 10 members, so
Okay.
then that 5 lakh is for the 10 family members.
Okay. So it is 5 lakh per family, not per person,
Yes, it is 5 lakh per family per year.
per year. Yeah. Okay. And these are, is it necessary the person has to go to the government hospital only?
No, so there are certain even private hospitals which have been empaneled under Ayushman Bharat.
Hmm.
By default, majority of the government hospitals are invariably empaneled.
Okay.
And there is a Ayushman Bharat website
Hmm.
and the toll-free number where people, even if they know that they are going to get admitted, they
Hmm.
can call the toll-free number or search on the website, put their PIN code and see whether the hospital where they are planning, it
Hmm.
is Ayushman Bharat impaneled or not. Or they can even simply call the hospital and ask whether Ayushman card is accepted there or not.
Okay. So, at a policy level question, Sonal, is when such a comprehensive insurance program is there, scheme is there, how do you think justify the other policies like, PMJJBY or PMSBY? Are they different, or do they add value to this PMJY?
So, sir, the PMJGY and PMSBY are different from PMJAY.
Hmm.
PMJAY is solving the health insurance problem of the BOP,
Hmm.
PMJGY and PMSBY are the products which the government has come out for
Hmm.
for covering the life and accidental risks.
Okay, both are okay.
Yeah. So the good part of PMJGY and SBY that they are open to all segment of the society,
Hmm.
whether rich or poor, anyone can avail it as long as the person is in the required age bracket, which is 18 years plus.
Hmm.
So even people like you and me can take the benefit of PMJGY and PMSBY.
Okay, so they're not meant for only BOP.
Yes. So that the government has come out with the mandate that at least a 2 lakhs benefit of term insurance or accidental at a low cost,
Hmm.
every citizen of India who wishes can, avail this facility.
Okay.
And the key difference between PMJGY and PMJAY is that in case of Ayushman Bharat, the customer is not paying the premium.
Hmm.
In case of PMJGY and SBY, it is the customers who are paying the premium. However, the premium is quite low.
That's right. Okay. And what is your experience? Let me spend some time on the PMJY only. So, do you think that people are aware and people are taking benefits out of PMJY because they're not required to pay? So, are people aware of this program and are taking benefits of this scheme?
So there has been a huge money spent by a lot of NGOs, CSR, and government to
Hmm.
make people aware, but still there is a gap in the awareness level.
Hmm.
And so so there is a need to actually still make people aware about these Ayushman Bharat PMJAY,
Hmm.
where they need to be made aware that first such a scheme is available, and if once you have made the card, how to use it.
Okay.
And once these two problems are solved, I have personally witnessed people benefiting it from it,
Hmm.
because my own housemaid, which was working with me,
Hmm.
earlier she was not aware of Ayushman Bharat.
Okay.
And this is where actually the awareness journey begins, because people start inquiring about any government scheme or health insurance in the market when a health crisis knocks the door.
Hmm.
So
Right.
we spent a considerable energy explaining to our maid
Hmm.
about, but she never enrolled it. She
Okay.
enrolled for Ayushman Bharat the day she wanted her mother to be admitted, and she
Uh-huh.
got the card made, and she was able to get a surgery which would have costed her 1 lakh to 1.5 lakhs for
Hmm.
kidney stones, done at a free of cost.
That's right. So that's you're right. So
And
that again brings us to the idea that which you started your conversation with. One of the reasons for low penetration is the knowledge, is the literacy. Am I right?
literacy, and plus there's a huge resistance, which I said we will see when the health crisis happens.
Hmm.
So in her case, actually, if Ayushman Bharat was not there,
Hmm.
first of all, she could not have purchased any other health insurance because the health situation has already occurred.
Hmm.
So no other health insurance would have covered her mother. Second, uh, no other health insurance would have given it at this, like here, even the premium was free.
Hmm.
And so I feel in the absence of Ayushman Bharat, she would not have afforded the treatment of her mother, which was a huge amount.
Hmm.
And I feel because of the insurance, she could save her mother's life.
Okay, that's good observation. But do you see any loopholes, any limitations of PMJY, Sonal?
One of the biggest limitations right now, and I think government is planning to work on it, uh, but it has a huge economic constraint also, that one of the challenges in the health space is that the majority of the expenses that happens are out of pocket expenses.
Hmm.
For a family, the 40-50% expenses in the health space is in the out of pocket category, which is not covered in the Ayushman Bharat or PMJAY.
Okay.
So even for my maid case, whatever the time was in the hospital,
Hmm.
that got covered. But whatever was before the admission, the diagnostic and reaching to the conclusion, or the medicines were
Okay.
not covered. So that also creates a huge hole in the pockets of the BOP, the out of pocket expenses. And yes, and right now that is also a gap in the health insurance space. That is also one of the reasons why people don't want to take health insurance,
Hmm.
because the cases of admission in hospitals are less.
Hmm.
What you incur regularly is out of pocket expenses, which insurance companies majority are not covering, or if they are covering, it is very small amount of for very particular cases.
Okay.
So people feel that, okay, I have taken the health insurance, but I was unable to take any benefit from it when I wanted to get a, say, health checkup or test done.
Hmm.
So now some innovations are happening where some health tech startups are coming, where they are trying to set up clinics or diagnostic centers and provide health packages where these diagnostic services can be provided at a lower cost.
Lower cost. Okay. That also brings us to the issue which has been there in our mind, the role of a private players like you. See, as you mentioned, there is a low penetration because of lack of knowledge, lack of literacy. There are products, but people don't know. Then, despite the so many government schemes, there is a gap of knowledge. In this type of scenario, an organization like yours, so what role your organization can play, number one, and what is that you have been doing in this particular ecosystem? Can you throw some light about your organization's role in the last 1 or 2 years in this sector?
Yeah. So, sir, we are playing first step that when we go into any community, the role that we or we start from where is that first we see how much people are already insured or aware about the already existing government schemes.
Hmm.
So we start our work from there. First, we try and make them aware about what is available in the market by the government for them, because that is the most affordable for them. So once we have get an idea that what is there, after that we try and provide the products or the solutions which can solve the missing risks which are not being covered by the government schemes. So for example, Ayushman Bharat takes care of your treatment cost.
Hmm.
But whenever, especially when anyone from the BOP segment gets admitted in the hospital,
Hmm.
they have this wage loss problem and the out of pocket expenses problem. For the rich people, out of pocket expenses might not pinch them so much because they are sitting on a comfortable cash flow.
Hmm.
But for a BOP, out of pocket expenses and wage loss can lead to erosion of the years of saving corpus and plus put them into debt trap.
Hmm.
So one of the products from where we started was a hospital cash insurance, which basically solves the problem of wage loss and the out-of-pocket expenses.
Okay.
Where for each day a person spends in the hospital, he gets a fixed amount.
Hmm.
And he does, and the claim process is quite simple. Based on the discharge summary, based on the number of days, he gets this amount in his bank account. Then
Hmm.
he is free to use this amount for whatever his need are. So that creates a more holistic package for him because he has already taken the Ayushman Bharat, plus now he has taken this. So Ayushman Bharat solves for his health treatment expenses, and this solves for his wage loss
Okay.
and plus income loss.
Hmm.
And when then other things that if you will see PMJGY and PMSBY, the coverage is limited. It is of 2 lakhs. So
Yeah.
when there are many segments in the BOP which may need more higher coverage requirements. So for them, what we do is, okay, first we ask them, okay, first you take the lowest available PMJGY and SBY, and if you can afford more term and accidental insurance, then we help them in getting those products. Like if say, suppose someone can afford a 5 lakhs coverage or a 10 lakhs coverage, so we help them with, provide them with personal accident or the term insurance with a higher coverage amount.
Okay.
which is right now not available.
Okay.
Then, as I was saying, how out of pocket expenses is also a big challenge. So there we are now tying up with various health tech startups or companies to see how we can combine these diagnostic services or blood test and all along with the insurance to come up with a more suitable health plan for the people.
Okay. So if you allow me, Sonal, so just to understand a bit more, so a person takes PMJY and then with your product, can you name that product? What is that product's name?
The product's name is Hospital Cash Insurance.
Okay. So suppose a person takes hospital cash insurance. So what will be the amount of premium? How do you fix? What is that amount of premium you charge?
So sir, right now the premiums are being decided by the insurance company,
Okay.
and this premium is basically decided by them based on what is the segment we are asking them to insure, plus based on the projected volume given by my organization.
Okay.
So the more the volume, they will be able to quote a lower price.
Yeah.
However, in general, hospital cash insurance are quite affordable. So right now, the product that we are offering starts from the range of 200 rupees per person per year, and maximum goes up to 800 rupees per person per year.
Oh, okay.
So if we take the lowest plan also 200 rupees,
Hmm.
in our experience, if anyone is earning even a monthly household income of 10,000 to 15,000 can easily afford a plan of 200 rupees per person.
That's right.
Once he is convinced that how it will benefit him.
Hmm.
So,
So,
so
so the gap which you identified, that the people at the bottom of the pyramid have a problem of cash loss or income loss. So therefore, this particular product takes care of that. Am I right?
yes,
Is
because
it is sorry for that. Is it a unique product? Is it is that um, a case designed and developed by Indian insurance companies, or it is a worldwide phenomenon also?
worldwide something similar is available. Actually,
Okay.
this product was mainly designed for the needs of microfinance institutions.
Okay.
Can protect their credit.
Hmm.
So the role that my organization has played is that earlier it was available more for the people who have taken the loan, and
Hmm.
this was bundled and given to the credit along with the credit.
Hmm.
Now we have taken it and tried to distribute it to even to people who have not availed any kind of credit, because credit is not that you will need every year or every time. So
That's
what we believe is that even if people have not taken credit, they should have access to insurance.
that's right.
So that's the thing. So the product as a concept is we have not newly designed. We
Hmm.
have found the use case where we have can fit it and solve a problem.
Okay. Okay. And out of your clientele and the people with whom you interact, so can you throw some light on the gender diversity of your clients?
Uh,
Women are equally forthcoming and taking insurance, or still the insurance decisions are male dominated?
so, sir, right now in India, still the females they don't take financial decisions like on their own. When we go to the market, the statement that we keep on hearing is, okay, let me discuss with my husband or let me discuss with my father,
Hmm.
or they will say, okay, you do the insurance of my husband or you do the insurance of my son.
Hmm.
They females still don't value their own lives or health.
Hmm.
So in our case, because we are trying to insure these people mainly through their employers or the aggregators or some associations,
Hmm.
because there was a push from the top that, okay, if suppose FPO is there and FPO a board has decided that we are taking insurance for all the farmers,
Hmm.
that is how we managed to cover the women.
Okay.
So, and because the kind of sector that we went, primarily handloom and handicraft sector, which employs a lot of women.
Hmm.
So in my case, the customer uh, breakup is that 70% are females and
Okay.
30% are male.
Okay. Because of the sector, the way you are targeting, right?
Yeah, and because the insurance was taken primarily by the employers,
By the employer. Okay.
because we still struggle with those challenges which we discussed initially, that Bhagwan dekh lega, or whenever I am unhealthy, I will take at that time. So people are not very willing to buy insurance on their own.
Hmm.
It's actually COVID has played a role where even the small these employers have realized
Hmm.
that they need to ensure their unorganized workforce, because if any something crisis like COVID comes, they will not be in a position to help all their workers.
Okay.
And as part of, because nowadays we are seeing a lot of social enterprises coming up,
Hmm.
so those founders felt that okay, there's a need to provide social security to the workers and all. So that's how we managed to ensure or reach this BOP.
Okay, okay. So, Sonal, because you are interacting with women and that too at the bottom of the pyramid, I'm sure you may be having several interesting anecdotes from where we can learn. Can you share one or two anecdotes where you have actually contributed to the life of this few individuals?
So, sir, one of the case which we consider as our one of the successful, journey in our journey is the handicraft sector of Mysore.
Okay.
There we started the same insurance product during the COVID, and
Mhm.
now we are seeing in the first year of COVID we sponsored the insurance through donations.
Mhm.
And after now coming to 2023, we saw a third year where people are coming on their own to renew their insurance. Definitely, there are dropouts, but then after people have received the claim,
Mhm.
many people who have just insured themselves earlier
Mhm.
have come back and insured their wives or
Oh,
children.
okay.
So that is one of the positive changes we have made in their lives, because these people have never bought insurance earlier in their life.
Okay.
And once they have purchased this low cost insurance, and once they have seen this process, so some of their barriers that they had in the mind was that okay, health insurance is very complicated, we can't take it, or the claim process are usually uh, very difficult, or insurance companies are frauds, they don't give claims. So some of these barriers that they were in their mind, we managed to change it. And now people are coming and also inquiring for the higher ticket size products or other various kind of products.
Okay.
So that is one of the where we are seeing the third year of renewal coming,
Mhm.
and people insuring themselves. And in that, when women come and insure themselves, we feel more proud, or feel like okay, we have made a difference.
Okay, that's wonderful, Sonal. I think, yeah, we have more or less come to an end of our conversation. I would
And
have,
one thing before we end, I would like to quote, which I forgot in the beginning, which
yeah,
asked me why, what motivated me.
yes,
One anecdote or incident I would like to share. When I
yeah,
was a consultant, I was asked to do a research, which the topic or the hypothesis was, in the absence of health insurance,
hmm,
what is the impact on the girl child education?
okay,
So when I was given this topic, I was quite new in my career. I couldn't understand that why, how insurance can impact a girl child education.
mm,
But when we started doing the research, and now when I'm in the field, what is the role of insurance is that it does not affect that particular some year months. It can affect your future generations also, because when any health crisis happens, the family savings are wiped out, and the children have to drop out, and the first child to drop out is the female child.
yeah,
in our country. So, and that is one of the changes now we are seeing as a practitioner, that how insurance can save people's next 2 3 generations.
That's very, very impressive, Sonal. So, Sonal, in fact, a wonderful conversation. In fact, you took us through you gave a larger perspective of insurance sector, then took us through the various schemes of Government of India, particularly PMJY, and then narrated the difference. And you also took us through the products that that you are working with. But I could see that you are not here just to make few rupees of income, but you are actually attacking a larger financial literacy problem, as well as the women empowerment. We are very happy that we had this conversation with you, and I look forward to more such conversation with you. And I wish you all the best and all success. I hope you will continue working in this insurance sector. Thank you very much, and
Thank
all the
you for
best.
the opportunity, and
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll continue our conversation once again some other time, wherein we will try to get into some specific problems and issues that you are facing in this sector. All the best. God bless you, Sonal.
thank you, sir.